There's a hurricane. There's a disaster. What happens after that disaster? The Biden administration starts putting FEMA and the federal government into action. But then what does Trump do? Trump decides he's going to go there. And he has a little press conference where he shows how stupid he is, for starters, making comments about hurricane season. And on top of that, Trump is the guy who has been dismissing climate change. And he's been saying, oh, climate change ain't so bad. More people have beachfront property. Well, guess what? Everybody in Asheville, North Carolina now has beachfront property. And it's not a good thing. People are dying. Their property's ruined. But Mr. Climate Change Denier goes and has his stupid little press conference and tries to turn the disaster into a little campaign tool of his. And then he starts lying. The next thing that happens is after Trump's bullshit press conference, then the press goes and starts asking Joe Biden, like, hey, why is Trump saying that you're not doing anything? And that is so infinitely frustrating. Instead of the media calling out Trump's lies, they want to go to everybody else and be like, well, Trump said this. Well, Trump said that. What's your reaction? And dude, that is really problematic, dude. I realize they do it because it's drama creation. But the fact that this motherfucker doesn't get called out is so problematic. Again, he shouldn't have gotten involved. It's just another campaign stunt. Trump is trying to shoehorn his way in here. Trump is spreading abject lies. All right, let's watch his stupid ass press conference.
Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Virginia, Alabama, and Tennessee. That's our big one. And the devastation wrought by this storm is incredible. It's so extensive. Nobody thought this would be happening, especially now it's so late in the season for the hurricanes.
Right there. Trump is like completely stupid because hurricane season goes until December. This is Atlantic hurricane season. Look, we're right in the peak. We're right in the peak of hurricane season, September and October. He's so dumb. His lack of knowledge. This is another thing that this man does all the time. He comes down, decides to insert himself into the scenario as a campaign tool, as a ploy to like act like, oh, Trump's in there. He's going to lead the charge. Going to take care of this big disaster. But this motherfucker doesn't even know. He's so dumb. He lives in Florida and he doesn't know when hurricane season is. That's how uninformed he is. He just talks out his ass. Now, another thing is, all day on social media, people have been saying, like, why isn't Biden there? Why isn't Harris there? The point is, they shouldn't be there right now. Biden and Harris and a motorcade and a big huzzah would be nothing but a distraction. Right now, you want disaster relief. You don't want officials going down there having some ginormous motorcade and disrupting the rescue efforts. Because for Trump to go down there with his 27 SUVs and his Secret Service detail, that disrupts rescue efforts. They have to shut down a bunch of roads. And they have to like divert airport traffic. For him to drive from the airport to wherever he has his press conference, they have to close down every road for like hours on either end of his movement. So this is stupid. He's being disruptive, trying to cash in and make it look like Trumpy to the rescue.
Homes, hospitals, highways, and cars have been plunged underwater. Entire neighborhoods have been turned into lakes.
No shit.
Nobody's seen anything like it. And to every family that's been displaced here in Georgia and North Carolina, which has really been hit. We were going there also, and they don't have communication. They don't have anything right now.
Well, they do have Starlink satellites that were set up by FEMA that in probably 1 minute, Donald Trump is going to try and take credit for.
We're trying to. I just spoke to Elon. I'm getting him. We want to get Starlink hooked up because they have no communication.
There he goes, dude. It didn't even take 3 minutes. It took 10 seconds for him to be like, oh, I'm going to talk to Elon, my little Twitter buying buddy, my little election interference buddy. Elon is coming in. But FEMA has already established Starlink satellites. But yes, what a clown. But there he goes. He's coming in hot. And yes, plenty of people have seen these disasters. They happen every year. Now, what the problem is, the storms are getting more and more wicked and more unpredictable. But here's Donald Trump, who now wants to go to Georgia and talk about helping.
I don't think anybody's too worried, right? You could worry about nuclear warming, but you can't worry about the global warming. The global warming, they said the other day, I heard somebody, that the oceans are going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 300 years. We have bigger problems than that. We'll have a little bit more beachfront property. That's not the worst thing in the world.
So there's his comment about beachfront property. Donald Trump, climate denier, but now let's look at Asheville, North Carolina. There's your fucking beachfront property, bro. And it actually is a problem when our cities and towns are turned into beachfront property. Climate change is a problem, but that's where Trump is at. See, he wants to walk around denying climate science and denying the problems that are helping to contribute to these disasters, while people in Florida and shit can't even afford to insure their homes anymore. They can't. So then they don't have insurance, and then a hurricane hits and they lose everything. The insurance industry in Florida, people are ravaged down there because insurance companies are just getting bankrupted again and again and again. It is a significant problem, but that's what's so bothersome about this. He's ignorant about hurricanes. He calls the very issue that's creating this problem a hoax. And in fact, Project 2025, which is part of Donald Trump's agenda, they want to dismantle FEMA. Can you imagine if there was no FEMA? What would we do without a disaster response for these emergencies that happen every year? People would just be f***ed, bro.
Whatsoever. And Elon will always come through. We know that. And so we're working on that, getting them hooked up. They asked me whether or not that would be possible.
He's working on that. Shut up, Trumpy. FEMA already did that.
Because they have no communication. And throughout the region, our hearts are with you, and we are going to be with you as long as you need. It's called an hour of need. You're in our prayers, and we pray to God, and throughout this long...
Dude, Trump doesn't pray to God. He has never prayed to fucking God. The only time maybe he prays to God is when his mistress is taking a pregnancy test. That's about it.
The long weeks that lay ahead, you're going to have a lot of work, but the end result is it's going to be good. We just wish so many people weren't so badly hurt, and in many cases, sadly, no longer with us. We love you. We love everyone.
We love you.
Everyone.
We love everyone.
We love everyone.
He says we love everyone except immigrants and trans people and Democrats and who else? The black Haitian legal immigrants. Now he's saying we love everyone. Dude, I can literally show you a clip from his speech yesterday where he was saying that every brown person is a throat-slitting killer.
And right? We'll be back, and we'll be back again soon. And we'll continue to help until you're bigger. I say bigger, better, stronger than ever before. But again, you can't ever discount the fact that people are lost. A lot of people have been lost in this terrible storm, this terrible hurricane. And to the families and loved ones of those who have perished, we mourn alongside of you, and we grieve every single life so tragically lost. I'd like to now ask for a moment of silence and prayer for those who have died. Thank you.
Oh, look at Trump doing a moment of silence. Look at this grandstanding routine, though. Dude, this is so phony. This is so phony. You know why this is phony? Because let's look at Trump yesterday. Mr. Trump, who's saying, I love everybody.
But they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately.
See, this guy who says he loves everyone is advocating for one violent day of being really violent and bloodthirsty with people stealing, I guess, is his thing. Somebody shoplifts and he wants the cops to be brutally violent with them, to like send a message that if you ever shoplift, we're going to be brutally violent with you. That's Trump's rhetoric. Now, ironically, this is the same guy who in this same speech said he refused to pay his workers overtime. And so he would cheat his workers out of overtime. So he's willing to shoplift. He gets to shoplift and steal from his workers, but no violent day for him or for Amazon or for Walmart or for Home Depot or for every other corporation that loots and steals from its employees. Because theft is okay when he does it and when his wealthy set capitalist buddies do it. It's okay. When they steal, it's not stealing, it's business. But if you're piss poor and you go steal some food, you need to be a victim of their violent, the purge scenario, right? But this is the same guy who now today is up here pretending like he's having this good Christian moment of silence. But we know that he is lying. He is a fucking liar, bro. This is all bullshit. This whole thing is a grandstanding.
Thank you very much. As you know, our country is in the final weeks of a hard-fought national election. But in a time like this, when a crisis hits, when our fellow citizens cry out in need, none of that matters. We're not talking about politics now. We have to...
Dude, you are talking about politics right now,
get
Trumpy.
Together and get this solved. We need a lot of help. They have to have a lot of help down here.
Oh, we all need to get together. While I'm standing here in Georgia, I got to say we all need to get together. But tomorrow I'll be at a speech calling Democrats demons and saying that we're a failing country. I mean, we heard it. We're a failing nation. We hear it every day. We're a third world country. We're failing. Kamala Harris is low IQ. Democrats are degenerates. He calls Chuck Schumer a Palestinian. He uses Palestinian as a slur. He says immigrants are all killers and rapists. They made up lies about the legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield. He says that day in and day out, day in and day out. And now he wants to stand up there and act like he gets credit for saying, oh, yeah, we got to stick together. I'm sorry, Trump, but you, bro.
And I want to thank again Franklin Graham and everyone at
Franklin Graham.
People are fantastic, by the way. Just fantastic.
Degenerate
you very much.
Evangelical zealot. This is Franklin Graham who he's talking about. This guy, Franklin Graham, is an avowed anti-LGBTQ person. He is a terrible human, bro. He is a terrible, terrible anti-trans, anti-gay. Now, again, you don't get to talk about unity. You don't get to preach unity when you're hanging out with one of the vocal spokespersons for an anti-gay and trans movement. You don't get to speak unity when you endorse a candidate for governor like Mark Robinson from North Carolina who calls himself a black Nazi. You don't get to preach about unity when your fellow men and helpers and partners are anti-unity, anti-diversity, adjacent to hate groups. This is why this is disqualifying. This whole speech here, this whole rigmarole, a talk about unity, it's all bullshit because he's not hanging out with people that actually believe in unity.
We do need some help from the federal government. They have to get together, ideally with the governor. That governor needs to, he's been trying to get them, and I'm sure they're going to come through. But he's been calling the president, hasn't been able to get him.
See, right there, he said that the president hasn't been able to get him, dude. But Kemp and Biden have spoken.
So I just spoke. The president just called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, hey,
he called him yesterday afternoon.
What do you need? And I told him, you know, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate that.
So there you go. There's the governor. We called him right back. Said, what do you need? Anything you need, we got you. Anything you need, we got you. Donald Trump, again, liar. Yes, that is the actual president. That's Joe Biden. Now, we should point something out here while we're talking about lies. This is from a press conference. Governor Roy Cooper, during the Trump administration in 2017, when they were recovering from Hurricane Matthew. Look at what Roy Cooper said. We requested $900 million for Hurricane Matthew recovery, but will receive just $6.1 million, less than 1% of the resources we need. So Roy Cooper, because he's a Democrat, I suppose, they needed $900 million to recover from Hurricane Matthew. They went to Trump. Trump gave him $6 million. Let's not forget. Let's not forget. Now, to talk about the journalistic malpractice is what the press does with this information. Because Trump lies, we know that Brian Kemp has already told us that Biden has offered anything they need. But then what does the press do? The press goes and starts questioning Joe Biden.
Mr. President and Governor Cooper, Donald Trump has accused both of you of ignoring the disaster.
He is lying. Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. The governor told me he was lying. I've spoken to the governor, spending time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me, but I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are.
So then what do? Yeah, Biden's fucking pissed, bro. And I'd be pissed too, because here he is. The governor has said, I've offered all the resources. We're doing everything we can. We got FEMA out there. And then that motherfucker Trump, who lies about everything, goes out there and starts spitting some bullshit. And now you're coming back to me, because that's what always happens. The guy who lies 50,000 times, they go and then ask people, well, what about his lie? They did the same shit with Kamala Harris. Donald Trump says Kamala turns black, instead of the reporters saying, what the fuck is wrong with you, Trump? How can you say that shit? You're a fucking racist piece of shit, Trump. You fucking stupid ass. What the fuck is your problem? No, what then they do is they go to Kamala and said, Donald Trump said you turned black. Do you have any comment? It's like, yeah, my comment is be a fucking reporter. Do your goddamn job. And quit treating this lying, cheating, felony, sexual abusing motherfucker like a goddamn normal human being. You gotta start acknowledging that he is full of shit. Dude, Biden was like not having it, bro. He's pissed, dude. It is just lies, 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 lies. Again, though, one of the operative things is how when Trump was president, people didn't get the help they need. Not only is Trump lying about Biden and Harris and the current situation, when Trump was in fact president, people experiencing disasters got no help from him. Dude, it is. It is so dumb, bro. Trump is out here like he thinks he's still the president, bro. He's like play acting. This is him like, oh, shit, I got to get out there. I'm talking to FEMA. I'm doing all the work, dude. He's out there just play acting. It's like, dude, you're not the president, bro.
So bad, but we know in our hearts, God is with us.
You're just a weirdo. You're just a weirdo that fucking screams they're eating the dogs. Maybe he doesn't know he's not POTUS. I mean, maybe. Dude, he's pretty mentally impaired. That is possible. But dude, it's like, what are we doing?
And we'll emerge stronger, more united, and more prosperous than ever before. You're going to be stronger, better. You're going to learn a lot from it. And again, we pray to God for those that have
been going to learn a lot from it,
so
people.
Badly injured. Or
dude, I'm learning that you're a fucking moron, Trumpy. That's what we're learning.
God bless everybody. And Franklin, I want to thank you very much for
dude, he
being
is
here so quickly.
His energy.
Very quickly. He's always very early. And
he's
Franklin,
like,
maybe I could ask
Trumpy's like, me and Franklin, after we finish this news conference, we're going to go some prostitutes at the local, like, Jack Shack, the strip mall Jack Shack. We're going to go some prostitutes, and then we're going to pay for them to get an abortion out of state, of course, because of the abortion bill that just passed here. But Like, yeah, let's go. All right, let's go. We're gonna go meet up with Robert Kraft and go get a tug job at the fucking Sweet Lotus strip mall. Dude, this guy's a fucking piece of shit, dude. Franklin Graham. Oh my God.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He's not the president. Again, all play acting. Thank you, Mr. President. He's not the president. It is infuriating. It is infuriating to me that the news media let this shit run rampant.